The next part of the project is outlining all your pencil line in a ultra fine Sharpie. It cannot be a regular Sharpie. Those lines would be way too bold. So this is what we have so far. After you've outlined everything, you want to get an eraser and go in and erase any extra pencil lines. You don't want to see those. That is a part of the project, is needing to erase any extra pencil lines. Okay, once you've gone in and erased all these extras, then you're going to start to add color. Now what you need to think of is where your light source is going to be coming from. So if the sun, for example, is shining down onto your paper, the lightest area is going to be what is closest to you, which is going to be the very front part of each shape. So the one that is closest to you is the original shape that you drew, and that's only if the light source is shining straight down onto your paper. If that were the case, you could pick a color. You want that to be the lightest color that you have. So I take my colored pencil and lightly start filling in that shape. And I want you to notice that you want the colored pencil to be nice and even. So that's what we have. Now, as the shape starts going back in space, it still is going to be lighter when it's close to you, but as it goes back into space, it's going to start to get dark. So I'll show you what this could look like. You still want to use the same color. And what you can do is you can actually just color over the whole thing with just that even color that you already have been using. And then you can go in and you can kind of darken up the area that needs to be darker by doing more layers of the color and pressing down hard. So right now it doesn't look like anything is happening with things being lighter and darker, but as we start to go over this again, starting to make it a little bit darker, it helps to make it look like it's more three-dimensional and that it's actually going back into space because of the light source that we have. So that's kind of what you can do. Try to erase that little mistake, or go over it a little bit later. Okay. Now let's imagine that we want the light source to act as if it's coming from the back side, kind of underneath. That means the light source is going to be further back here in space, and as we get closer, okay, to yourself, that front part of the image, it's going to be opposite. So it's darker here, and then it gets lighter as it goes back because the light source is coming from behind. So I'll show you an example of what that would look like. Pick a color. So we'll just have this be really, really light back here. And then as it comes up, we can start to make it getting a little bit darker. But again, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to do it the same color, all of it, and then go in and make it a little bit darker. And what I want you to notice is that it's pretty even. It's darker and then it slowly gets lighter. It's not, oh, this part is dark and this is light. Okay, it transitions nicely. And then we'd have this part be darker. And then continue filling the rest of that in. And what you can also think about too is when this line is coming into that shape, because it's going to be surrounded by something, the inside of the shape is not going to have a bunch of light in it. It's going to be darker. So you can do it the same color, even if you wanted to go in with black and make it kind of a little bit darker in there. Okay, so it can be the same color, just kind of dark in there. Or you could even go over with a little bit of a black just to kind of darken it up. Okay, so figuring out where your light source is it coming down, shining above, or is it coming from below and coming up? So figure that out. Again, the first step, Sharpie, then erasing any extra pencil lines, and then adding color.